what is up? Iara here and welcome back to another video of our channel. In today's video, I wanted to do a quick update on our hives. As you can see, these guys, our hives, are actually now in the Finland bee box system, which is the system that we use every single winter. If you haven't checked out our last videos, or if you're new here, welcome. I'll leave some of the videos up here. Basically, this Finland bee box system, we've been using it for about, I think this is our 4th or 5th year using it. So far, whenever we put our bees into this equipment, we have had 100% success, no losses whatsoever. This equipment is actually made out of styrofoam, so it works really nicely for extremely cold weather climates. You can see it's about an inch thick in styrofoam. This is pretty much based off the Langstroth system, so all your regular Langstroth frames can fit in here. Basically, we use this system only for winter. In the spring, when it's usually nice and warm, that's when we switch it to regular wooden equipment. So my sister and I actually came here a few weeks ago. We had to switch the equipment up from our regular Langstroth wooden system to this Finland bee box. But now they're strong, they are healthy, and they're ready to start the winter. It is pretty chilly right now. We've had frost this morning so far. But anyway, so for today, that's a little update of our bees right now. What I'm going to be doing today, however, is we have to do our feeding. Now, we're gonna be doing something that we haven't done before, and that is feeding them straight on sugar. This method is also known as the mountain camp feeding. Basically, some beekeepers, they usually feed straight on sugar to prevent moisture problems, especially if they're coming out of winter and they're just starting their spring season, especially if it's cold. Something that we like to do in order to make sure that we don't have any moisture problems or have more ventilation is we actually made this custom cut right here, this custom entrance on the lid. The material, when we bought it, it didn't come with this, but we also leave the bottom entrance, of course, open, and that way air can circulate through the hive. And this is really important to have for the winter especially. We need constant air circulating. We also make sure that our entrances are not covered with snow, especially when we have deep snow. Over time, what I've heard with feeding them straight sugar, because of the moisture in the hive, if there is an excess of moisture, it will absorb it. That way it'll turn into kind of like hard candy. The bees can eat it, so there's no need of making the syrup. We also have had the problem that because of this custom entrance, what happened was bees, when they fly in, they usually fly on the top, and then they end up drowning. I'll show you why when I open up the hive if you've never seen what's inside it or what the feeder is like. What I'm going to be feeding them is about 1 kilo, which is about half this container right here. I do have more sugar here in the quad, but we're gonna be opening up these 3 hives that we have. We're gonna be feeding them about half this container, and then in the end, we're just gonna close them and let them continue their preparation for this winter. Another thing that we did when we moved our bees into this new equipment is we gave them pollen patty. They need as much food as they can get before they go into winter, because they're not gonna have any pollen or nectar sources for about 6 months, and that is a pretty long time without food. The first pollen that we usually get in the spring is the pussy willow, but that doesn't come until about May or April sometimes. Without further ado, we're gonna be trying out this new feeding system. Like I said, this is experimental for myself and my sister. Hopefully if it works, and if we see that the bees eat it, they don't leave any remains or anything, that we know it works. And we're probably going to be applying it whenever we're feeding them during winter or even early in the spring. This material, because it's pretty light, we like to put a rock in here. We have had it where the wind came in and it kind of blew our roofs away, so we do leave some weight on the top. And also, I wanted to give you a little update with this specific hive. I came back with Dad to the bee yard to just see how they're doing, and next thing we know, we saw that this colony was just laying on the ground. The bees were on the top box, and then we're kind of confused. We're like, okay, the winds are not strong enough to tip this hive over. And then I went back here and I noticed this. So our hive was tipped over by a bear. You can see some more claw marks over here and over here. And actually this bottom screen right here was actually way over there in the bush. Luckily, no equipment was damaged other than this. It is a shame that it is a little damaged, but we're grateful that this hive is strong. We did have to open up, but we're super grateful that nothing else happened to these hives. So let's get to feeding. So this is what the feeder looks like. In the past, we have fed it with sugar syrup, like I said, and right here, this is the entrance that the bees have access to. What happens was, with our customized entrance, when they fly in, instead of heading straight down here, they usually ended up landing over here and drowning. There is a clear glass part that comes and slides into these slots right here, but because of our customized entrance, we did have to make also a customized part in there, but it didn't work out as we wanted it. So that is why we want to try out this sugar feeding, and we'll see how it works. So I'm going to be giving them, like I said, about 1 kilo. I'm going to be spreading some here, that, maybe a little bit more. And I'm also going to be putting a little bit in the entrance when I'm done. So just slide some more. Should be good. And then I'm also going to get just a pinch and then place it on the entrance. Over time, the sugar will harden and absorb any extra moisture that the colony may have. So it'll start turning hard, kind of like candy, raw candy. We're going to be doing the same to these other hives. So that is the glass screen that I was telling you about, and as you can see, we made that customized cut to see if our bees, instead of flying into the feeder and landing in there, that they would go straight down. It did make a difference, but just up to a point. So we're going to be trying again to feed the system. Oh, it absorbs some water there, but our bees are active. And that is that glass that I mentioned. So we're just going to leave that there. And I need to get more sugar for our last hive over here. Sugar that I'm feeding is just straight on white sugar. Let's get this. Alrighty, fill my container up. That should be enough for that last hive. Let's go. This is another one of those plexiglasses that we had to customize for our entrance in order for it to work. And that's pretty much it. We're done with our sugar feeding. That's pretty much it. It is super easy, super quick to do and feed them. If I was to do it on a regular Langstroth hive and I didn't have any feeder to put the sugar in, what I've seen other beekeepers do is they place a piece of newspaper. They just place it on top of the hive. They put an extra box, an empty box, just to give it a little bit more elevation. They pour the sugar on top of the newspaper, some a little bit on the frames, and then they put the lid back on. With that extra box, they have that extra space. So if you wanted to pile up the sugar a little bit more, it doesn't go on the lid, and it just makes it look a little bit nicer, a little bit more proper on the outside. But lucky for us, the system does come with these feeders, so we can just pour it on there and let the bees do their thing. But anyways, if you guys like this video and want to see more, give that big thumbs up, share this video with your friends and family, leave a comment down below if you have any questions regarding this video or any beekeeping topic. And also, I just want to say a big thank you for watching this video once again, and don't forget to hit that red button and the notification bell so you can be notified every single time we upload a video. My name is Iara and you're watching Bees Are Funny. See you next time, guys.